What's going on? YouTube, it's ya boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another DFS video with your boy. Drop a like down below, comment anything in the comment section, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for joining me as always, as you know, and as always, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I understand y'all got lives. You're at work risking your job listening to me right now. So I got to make sure I'm quick and I'm thoughtful of y'all's time. Okay? So, as normal, I'm going to get through this fairly quickly, touch on some points of the like on the slate, get you guys started early. There's only so much we could do early on in the day, but I definitely want to get y'all started on the right track, kind of on the right vibes going into this slate. All right? First and foremost, let's all just take a second and envision ourselves taking this slate down. Alrighty. All right, so starting off at point guard right here we go. All right. Starting off at point guard, Russell Westbrook. Now you've got LeBron James, AD out for LA. It's going to make Russell Westbrook extremely chalky and a few other guys chalky, but in my opinion on this slate, this is the chalk that you just grab and then move on from it, okay? So Russell Westbrook, the guys that I like the most from the Lakers today is Russell Westbrook. The other guy that I'm having in my core is Thomas Bryant because he's too cheap still. And then the new addition, Rui Hachimura, pops out big time for me as well. I have him at 27 at 4-1. So Russell Westbrook, Rui Hachimura, and Thomas Bryant are the three LA guys that really stick out to me, and I've been using a lot of so far early morning in my builds with no LeBron James and no Anthony Davis. These three guys are going to be expected to do a ton here. They're facing a bad Brooklyn defense, and a great situation here for the Lakers to shine. Now, could a blowout happen? Sure, but Brooklyn's still without KD. So unless Kyrie's going out and dropping 50, I don't see much of a blowout here. I think it should stay close enough to where Westbrook gets his. Rui's going to get his regardless, no matter how the game ends up. And then Thomas Bryant should get his as well. So all we need out of Thomas Bryant is 30. All we need out of Rui is like a 24. I have him at 27. Out of Russell Westbrook, all we need is about a 40. I have him over 40 as well. So I feel good about all these guys hitting those spots, and I feel really good about those guys. So these are my first guys I want to talk about. First core you need to lock in. That's the biggest spot on this slate that we got so far. We've got some questionable guys that'll change the whole slate, like Luka Doncic. Rudy Gobert won't change the whole slate, but Gobert might be out. There's a bunch of questionable situations right now to keep an eye on. But as of right now, these guys right here, we have a sure thing LeBron and AD out. So that's a fantastic start to the slate right there. All right, at shooting guard, one guy that I really like here, you've got Josh Hart's been hurt. If he misses especially, I'm going to love this. Justice Winslow is out, one of the backup guards slash forwards, whatever you want to call Winslow. But Anthony Simons is a guy who loves to shoot the ball. Great matchup here against Atlanta. Solid high total. I believe it's like the third highest team game total on the slate. Expected to be a competitive game. Only 6-1, which feels too cheap to me. Now, I have him feeling really secure at that 5x. I don't have him projected at the 6x like I do Westbrook, Rui, and Bryant, and Anthony Simons is definitely the spot that I'm willing to play with as the day goes on. If other solid guard value pops, I'm down to drop down from Simons for sure. But this is kind of a gut feel here. I do think he can hit that 36 range and has upside of the 40s in this matchup against Atlanta, especially if Josh Hart ends up out again. But for right now, he just feels safe for that 30 mark for me. I have him over 31, as you can see. Anthony Simons feels good to me in what should be a fast-paced, high-scoring matchup that should also stay competitive. Okay, so I really like this spot here for him. And then a value. All right, you guys know I like to get these values in here to y'all. If we go to all, we sort point per salary, you will immediately see Aaron Wiggins. Projected over 21. I have him at 21.3. Aaron Wiggins at 3-4. You've got Dort out and you've got Robinson Earl out for OKC. Aaron Wiggins is going to get some solid minutes here. He's my favorite value on the entire slate. I'm expecting him to be in the starting lineup, and I'm expecting him to get 30-plus minutes. And when you have a guy at low 3Ks who's expected to get 30-something minutes with multiple guys out, this is the value you need. So, let's talk really briefly on the Simons situation because Westbrook, Wiggins, Hachimura, and Bryant are guys that I'm probably not going to mess with too much as the day goes on. These are guys that I'm really focused on making sure that I have in my lineups at the end of the day because no matter what news comes out, you're going to still have LeBron and AD out, and these guys are too cheap. You know what I mean? So Westbrook, Hachimura, and Bryant's where you need to start out at. If you need value, Aaron Wiggins is the value to grab. Anthony Simons. Okay, so if we look at that 6-1 range on the NBA Optimizer, which comes with your subscriptions at greenlightdfs.com, the higher projected guy over Simons will be Jacob Podol, which I do like Podol. With Porzingis being back for Washington, Podol's going to need to play heavy minutes to match up with the size for Washington. Jacob Podol is a solid option. I do like him at 5'8", so he's a pivot off of a Simons if you want to get a double center line going. Jeremy Grant, you're almost there. If Josh Hart ends up out, he's another solid option. Probably rather just stick with Simons. But Grant's really solid if Hart's out. That's definitely a consideration there. I haven't projected higher, and if I have a couple hundred at the end of my lineup, maybe I do that depending on roster construction. Dennis Schroeder is a guy that could go under the radar at 5'4". He's a solid value as well. Like you could take Simons out and put Schroeder in and just go heavy Lakers, which makes a ton of sense. There's a ton of value there. But that's about it. That's probably where I'm staying. Kind of around that range. I really like Simons, though. I do really like Simons. If I get off of Simons, it'd probably be to save some money and go Dennis Schroeder, who's getting more of an injury bump than Simons is, but that is getting you 4 Lakers, but I think that's completely fine. I don't normally like going like 5 unless a whole team's out, so 4 sounds like a good, juicy number for the Lakers today with no LeBron and AD, but if you need to go 5, I think it's serviceable as well, but I just don't think you have to, not on a solid size slate like this. It's an 8-game slate. I don't think you need to do that, so... Anyways, that's it. We got Russell Westbrook, Anthony Simons, Wiggins, Hachimura, and Bryant. As the day goes on, y'all keep an eye on injury news. Go ahead and hit up greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad. Our optimal, we will be working on keeping our optimals optimal after the slate locks and all that. So about 10 to 15 minutes usually before the slate starts, we'll post what we believe to be the most optimal version for this slate, roster construction-wise and all that stuff. And as the day goes on and as news goes on, if we have any places that we can possibly keep it the most optimal, we will. So we do whatever we can to keep it the most optimal possible version until all games are locked. So check that out. The Props Made Easy tool, the NBA prop tool that we have at greenlightdfs.com. Take advantage of that as well with your stuff. If you haven't seen my PrizePicks video, I'm going to start doing PrizePicks videos every single morning as well to give you guys a nice little 2-pick flex in the very least to start your day on the right track. And I will still be posting my favorites at Greenlight for the NBA members. As the day goes on, we'll be using the Props Made Easy tool as always, which, by the way, is the tool for Greenlight. Okay, we'll be using that to make sure we keep with the most plus EV plays being added to the NBA access page as the day goes on. Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Y'all have a fantastic day, and I'm out. Peace.